All right, so I was just fighting with myself to come on here to do this video right now because I feel like this whole energy surrounding this young man is disturbing. At this point, is really disturbing. Um, it's been so many times that I just was thinking about how like I be out and about even now with with everything that's going on. It's still people out here that's homeless or whatever. And I was homeless too, like years ago. I was homeless too, and that was like what, two different times. But I gratefully, because everybody have their different situations or whatever like that. I've never really had to ask people for money or stuff and whatever because I was able to get help and assistance 111 on the clock. I just feel like this whole energy surrounding this young man, Jordan Neely, who I am 8 years older than him, he most definitely did not deserve that because no matter if he was asking people for money or not, even if they was trying to say he was being like threatening or aggressive or whatever, I don't know, because I really don't feel like this man was doing that. I don't feel like nobody should have been putting their hands on him. And if that's the case, that's not how you supposed to because you see it happen in other places and everything, or you see police officers doing it, or because you got some kind of title because you was in the military or whatever, the Marines, whatever it is. I don't feel like that was the proper way they should have been handling that as far as like nobody should have been putting their hands around his neck, because if he knew how to do that, like subduing him or whatever they trying to say, that this man knew how to subdue people without something, how did he end up dead? Like, so obviously and then you knew that a chokehold was deadly, and you kept having your damn, excuse my French, you kept having your arm around his neck so tight that he don't went limp and unconscious. Like, come on now. Like, I do believe that was a homicide because y'all holding him behind his neck, the other two y'all holding his arms and stuff. Like, what the fuck? Come on. He was. I bet you he was not even like grabbing for nobody bags, nobody purses. He probably didn't even have no weapons or nothing on him. That should not have been done like that. And I feel like they need to be held accountable because nobody should have been putting their hands on him. Like I was trying to say earlier when I just started this video, do you know how many times I've been walking around where I live at, in the city where I live at, homeless people asking me for money and stuff. Either I'm going to tell them I can give it to them or I don't. Like, either way, I let them know. And I keep my distance to a certain extent, because you should have that distance between you and another person. Like, I've been talking like that, saying that kind of stuff even before this whole pandemic happened. Like, they'll come up to you, ask you for money, and you already be done gave them money, and they'll try to ask you for more money again. But I'm not putting my hands on nobody. Either I'm gonna tell you I can give it to you, or I'm gonna tell you that I don't got it. But I never can recall me ever putting my hands on somebody that's homeless because I've been in that situation before. And it's crazy that, you know, I know it didn't need to go that far. Like, when I was just off of here before I decided, like, should I do this video whether anybody hears this or not, like, I'm really like upset. That really triggered me. That's a trigger, like a major trigger, because I've been in that situation before. I'm from New York City. I was born in the Bronx. So imagine me living up there and I was in his situation. I wouldn't want nobody putting their hands on me, whether I'm mentally with it or not. They should, or whatever he had going on, because they trying to say his mental health and all that. They always want to bring up that factor. That's supposed to be the reason why that was supposed to happen to him like that. And then another thing, this man that was supposed to be in the Marines or whatever, you ain't no police officer. Just because you seeing a police officer doing that, or just because you got trained to do that kind of stuff, don't mean you should have been doing that on him. And then you done did it to the point where you done did it too long. You done left them unconscious, and you got up and like what, more than likely walked away. Like, somebody need to be held accountable. Now they trying to say it's a homicide. Yeah, somebody need to be held responsible for that, because nobody should have been putting their hands on him. No matter how much he was asking y'all for money, food, whatever. Long as so what, he coming out his mouth saying certain stuff. Long as he wasn't putting his hands on nobody, nobody should have been touching him. And that's just how I feel about that. I feel about that because it really got me feeling some type of way. No, so now people not allowed to walk around saying stuff, because they got less or less more fortunate than you. They not allowed to walk around here saying, that they hungry or they want money or stuff. If they not touching you, why are you touching them? That's what I'm trying to understand. Why was anybody even putting their hands on him? Nobody probably was even recording it before that happened. What led up to that. So more than likely, he probably wasn't even putting his hands on nobody. Even if he was saying certain things out of his mouth, that doesn't give no right for them to have been restraining him like that. So I think I'm going to do a reading on this, but not tonight. Two cards that came out was the 11th house and Gemini. So the action side, it says spiritually for humanity's sake, what you want to be known. Mentally, your hopes and wishes, what is believed about. Do it for the future, use the quickest way in. So these two cards came out. And I think I'm going to do a reading, but I'm just not going to do it right now because it's going to take a lot of energy. And then it's like I was already starting to get emotional just sitting here talking to myself, and like just now all these videos popping up saying that it's a homicide. Yeah, it is a homicide, because regardless of the fact, long as he wasn't touching nobody, and even if he was, with them doing, with that man doing that kind of chokehold, whatever, if he knew what he was doing, you wouldn't have made him pass away. And you knew that it was deadly, so you shouldn't even been doing it to begin with. Y'all should have found went and got a police officer, or just left him alone and walked away from him. Move to another part of the train or whatever, subway. Move somewhere else. Why was y'all putting your hands on him? Look, crazy enough, the other side is the outcome, because it's the blue side. It says spiritually, information to explain freedom. Mentally, communications about associations. Physically, resulting from the fluctuations of your circles of friends. So that's the other side that just came out. So these two cards just came out in 11th house and Gemini. Look how that card got hands, like people like ain't that kind of crazy? The back of the deck was the moon card, which talks about defend. It says spiritually defend, mentally accept, physically let your feelings tell you how to. The other side, which is the outcome, it talks about the spiritually the nurturing of, mentally feelings caused by, and physically reactions. Like, I feel like I'm getting from that. Yeah, and then behind that is the 7th house. Look, this one also has hands on it. The moon card and then the 7th house. It says together with those two spiritually, it says defend diplomatically, mentally accept relationships, physically let your feelings tell you how to get a fair deal. So I definitely feel like this young man Jordan Neal, he needs a fair deal, because that's unacceptable. I don't feel like they should have been doing that. They shouldn't have been putting their hands on that man. Even if you do know, even though if you supposedly do know how to take or do a chokehold or whatever they trying to say right now. Nobody should have been putting their hands on him. Because like I said, I done came across so many people, me being 8 years older than him, I done came across so many people so many times, homeless people asking me for money. And I be like, I either tell them I could give it to you, I give you the change that I got, or I'll be like, I'll let you, because they even tell you like, oh, let me know when you come back out the store if you know if you could give me this or that. Either I'm gonna come out or tell them I got it, or either I'll just come out and I don't give it to them because I don't have it. I keep it moving. Sometimes I tell them I don't got it, or sometimes I give it to them, but I'm never putting my hands on people. And I just feel like that was really like messed up. And then it's like this day and age, everybody records everything. So now it's like this gonna be on social media, you know, on internet, on everything forever. Them showing how they done did this to this man, whether even if he was, you know, even if he was coming out of his mouth saying something, but that wasn't him putting his hands on nobody. He wasn't physically assaulting nobody. He wasn't grabbing nobody bags or purses. Like, that's what I want to see video of. Like, I want to see proof that y'all want to feel like it's justified for what has happened to him. Like, I want to see a video. And ain't nobody gonna be able to come up with no video justifying for them to have been doing him like that. You strain him so much, his legs is what they call it, wailing or whatever, and didn't other people holding his arms? Like, what is going on? What is really going on? Now let it been reversed. Let that would have been a black person. I'm sorry, but let it been a black person doing that to somebody that was white. We already know y'all would have been charging somebody. It wouldn't have took no couple days. It would have been somebody getting arrested and charged and all of that the same day. So come on now. Y'all need to stop trying to play favoritism or trying to play it because of what their skin color look like, and do it off of who the person is, not what their color is. Cause like I just like that shit is I see it be making me get out of character, like out of myself, and that's not right. And that gotta be on social media forever. Like we know this not the first time we done seen this, but every time feels like the first time. I'm saying like that. Every time that something like this going down like this, it feel like the first time. And I don't feel like it's acceptable. That's why I came on here and did a live, because I wanted to make sure I get whatever all I had to say. I want to get it out here, and I don't care how many people see this video or don't see this, but I don't feel like that was right what they did to him. Somebody need to be held accountable, even if it's just the man that did the chokehold, because he caused the final, you know, not a blow, but he caused the final thing. You know, you holding on to him so hard like that, you caused him to go limp and unconscious to the point that he done passed away. You caused that. You didn't even have to go that far with that. Yeah, so what, he was coming out of his mouth saying stuff. I know he probably wasn't touching nobody. I just feel that he was not touching nobody. He wasn't probably putting his hands on nobody, grabbing nobody possessions or anything. So if he not doing that, why did he deserve to be did like that? Why, what makes it valid that that was okay? But like I said, I want to do a video. I'm going to do a reading. I don't know if I'm going to do it tonight. It's probably not going to happen tonight because I don't even have the energy now to do it. I might do it tomorrow. I'm going to wait to see what comes out next or whatever. Because I'm going to be trying to keep my eye to keep a best on this story or whatever, because it's like, dang. Dude, I just imagine, like, because you know where I'm at is like way smaller than New York City, but I know in New York City you probably have to see 20 times the homeless people that I would see here. It's like 20, it gotta be like doubled or tripled. So why y'all couldn't just walk away from him and go sit somewhere else, or give him a little bit of change, even if it was like not even more than 50 cents. Like this stuff going on right now just don't make no sense. Like everybody want to try to help, but you're not really helping. You don't made it worse. Now you don't brought all this attention to yourself that you got to deal with this because you don't put your hands on somebody that you didn't even need to be putting your hands on to begin with. He didn't have nobody to defend for him. So I'm advocating with the people that's feeling like that wasn't right. I'm advocating with them because I definitely don't feel like that was right. Nobody should, not one person should have been putting their hands on him. And even if he was coming out of his mouth and saying certain things, that doesn't justify what happened. That doesn't justify that at all. And no, even a police officer shouldn't be doing that. I I done seen them do stuff, you know, when I used to watch Cops a lot when I was younger, but I don't remember them doing this whole chokehold thing. Like I don't know where they getting this from. Like, is this being part of training somewhere, or like I don't know. Like I don't understand where that's coming from. I really feel like it's intentional because you intentionally trying to um hurt somebody, like, because that's every time they somebody doing that, they killing people. Why are y'all being taught to use that? Y'all shouldn't even be being taught to use that. You're not using that on people that's out here, you know, hurting a lot of people. Y'all not using that on them. Man. But let me get off of here because I could just keep going. Even though I'm pausing and stuff in between, I could keep going. I, like I said, I don't feel like this is right. I pray that this man get his justice, Jordan Neal, because even if he was dealing with whatever stuff he was going through, he still didn't deserve that to happen to him. And I'm advocating for him to get his justice because that's unacceptable. Nobody should have been putting their hands on him. He should have been able to move along the subway train or whatever, as long as he wasn't physically hurting nobody. You know, we know people gonna come out their mouth and say stuff. That's anybody, whether they dealing with stuff or not. They gonna come out their mouth and say stuff. But it's when they saying stuff and then they trying to put their hands on you. But in this case, I don't feel like that's what he was doing. So I don't feel like nobody should have been touching him. But I'm gonna end this video right now. And yeah, 1919 I just seen. So I will be planning on trying to see when I'm gonna maybe possibly do a reading about his energy or about this or whatever that I feel like I should do the reading about. I'm gonna try to figure that out and decide when I'm gonna do it. But yeah, let me close out of this video, and I will be posting this on my channel. So who likes it, that's not your problem. That's my problem to post, that I wanted to post it, so it's my choice.